Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here with another Pokemon moveset video guide analysis, whatever you want to call it. This time we're talking about Guzzlord, the Dark and Dragon type. Now, Guzzlord has an insanely high base 223 HP stat, pretty great attack stat, or pretty decent attack stat at base 101. And then outside of that, it has a decent special attack stat at base 97, really low speed and really low defenses. Both at base 53, but the HP kind of makes it be able to take hits anyway. Now, it is Dark and Dragon. Honestly, this metagame is just not the best for Guzzlord. Guzzlord has a bunch of key resistances, being Ghost, Fire, Water, Grass, Electric, and Dark, and as well as an immunity to Psychic. However, in this metagame where Fairies are running around and being a Pokemon that is 4 times weak to Fairy, on top of being weak to Dragon, Ice, Bug, and Fighting, all pretty common types, especially in this metagame. It just doesn't treat Guzzlord too well, so a lot of people see this as the worst UB, and because of that, and also because of just not really having much going for it. But it does have access to Beast Boost, of course, so if it does manage to get a kill, it will get a raise in whatever stat is the highest. In this case, it would be special attack, so we get a special attack raise. And because it is a new Pokemon in Sun and Moon, I will be covering it. I have used it to some success, and I'll be talking about the sets that we have here. But if you guys missed any of my previous moveset videos, guides, analysis, there's a playlist. Link is down below in the description. I also encourage you to check me out on Twitch and Twitter. Links are down below. Follow when I stream, know when I stream. And let's talk about the first set. So first off, we have Life Orb. Now, Life Orb Guzzlord, it does have base 97, special attack, and it has a pretty solid move pool. It has Dark coverage, obviously, and Dragon coverage, so you can drop Dracos with Draco Meteor, as well as Dark Pulse. Really solid coverage together. Sludge Wave just to cover the Fairies that Dark Pulse and Draco Meteor do not hit, and then Fire Blast to cover Steals. So it has really good coverage on top of that. It's just it doesn't have good speed to really pull it off. Now, the EV spread is max special attack, modest nature, just to maximize how hard you can hit with your special moves. 224 speed, which allows you to outspeed min speed Skarmory, as well as Clefable, as well as Alolan Marowak, Pokemon down there. And basically being able to outspeed min speed Skarmory and smack it with a Life Orb Fire Blast. And again, the idea of this set is to use Guzzlord to hit hard and switch out. Sludge Wave allows you to lure in Pokemon like Tapu Fini, because Tapu Fini will always come in on Guzzlord, and you can proceed to hit that thing up with a Sludge Wave. It does about 66% to Tapu Fini, I believe, max HP. It does around 66% to max HP Tapu Fini. So that is a solid 2 KO. However, you are slower, excuse me. So I would switch out if I were you, because you will die to a Moonblast. However, it is a good lure. It can weaken it, and you can pair this with Pokemon such as Greninja, Ash Greninja, Battle Bond Greninja, which depend on getting kills in order to be in the Ash Greninja form. And a weakened Tapu Fini really does help Ash Greninja with Water and Dark Stab, obviously, which Tapu Fini does resist, do its job, which is sweeping. So, Dark Pulse hits Alolan Marowak. It hits Psychic types in general. Sludge Wave again for the Fairies. Draco Meteor is your strongest attack, and Fire Blast to hit the Steel types, such as Magnezone, such as Scizor, such as Skarmory. Unfortunately, even with max speed, you just outslow Mega Scizor. So I just put the rest in Spadef. I would have put the rest in HP, however, because you're running a Life Orb, if you put 32 HP, it takes 59 damage every single time it has a Life Orb, as opposed to taking 58, because Life Orb takes the first two, it takes these first two numbers. So this way, it doesn't actually take that whole percentage from you. That way it's not taking almost 60 HP every single time, taking a little bit less. Next up, we have Rest Talk. Now, this is a defensive set with Crunch and Dragon Tail. It does have that base 101 attack, so this is going to be running a Careful Nature. Crunch, Dragon Tail, Rest, and Sleep Talk. This set is really nice if you are weak to a Pokemon like Zard X, like Heatran. It's also nice for Pokemon like Alolan Marowak. It takes about 30% from Thick Club, Adamant, Flare Blitz, so that's absolutely nothing, and can Rest and Sleep Talk that away. You have Stab, Crunch to threaten Marowak, and Dragon Tail just to phase your opponent out in there. And this set maximizes your Spadef, just to be able to take on Pokemon such as Superior, such as Xurkitree without Dazzling Gleam, such as Marowak, again with your defense raise, and Zard Y. You can tank Focus Blast, you can tank Fire Blast, you tank Solar Beams, you tank hits from Heatran, you can Crunch, wear it down with that, and just rest up on it and beat it 1v1. And the idea of this set is to phase your opponent around. So setting up spikes, setting up toxic spikes, setting up hazards, stealth rock, all of that is really nice for Guzzlord. You're definitely going to want Pokemon maybe like Magnezone to pair with it to get rid of Skarmory, to get rid of Scizor, which definitely threaten it, as well as to weaken / get rid of Tapu Fini, which can 1, resist a crunch, and 2, be immune to Dragon Tail. So you're going to want answers for that. Skarmory is a very good partner because it stops Tapu Bulu, which threatens Guzzlord with the superpower. And Guzzlord can't really do much back. Dragon Tail doesn't work because it is part fairy type, and Crunch is not very effective. So Skarmory can beat Tapu Bulu and get up spikes. And Guzzlord just appreciates the hazard damage. So this set, it's just rest talk defensive set. There's no point in putting the rest into HP when it has such a high HP stat. You're better off just maximizing your defenses to get the most out of it. Next up, we have an Assault Vest set. Now, this set, I think, is one of its legitimate best sets. This set is good if your team is weak to Serperior, if your team is weak to Thundurus, if your team is weak to Zard Y. Because, yeah, it can take Focus Blast. It takes Leaf Storms and Hidden Powers for days. It can check Pokemon like Heatran as well. So this set runs Draco Meteor, Earthquake, Fire Blast, and Rock Slide. It has 112 attack, which allows you to 100% knock out Charizard Y with Rock Slide, as well as dealing with Pokemon like Talonflame, which don't really exist as much, but it's mainly there for Zard Y. It can also, because of the Assault Vest, it can take a hit from Volcarona. It can take a +1 Bug Buzz and knock it out with Rock Slide. Draco Meteor is just your strongest dragon type attack. Earthquake allows you to deal with Heatran because you are taking nothing from Magnastort Heatran, and Earthquake is a solid 2 KO on Heatran. Fire Blast allows you to deal with the steel types like Skarmory and Scizor if they want to switch in on you. And then Rock Slide can be changed. You can actually use Heavy Slam if you want to deal with Tapu Lele, because you can actually live a Scarf Moonblast from Tapu Lele, and with Stealth Rock up you can knock it out with Heavy Slam. Sludge Wave is also an option if you want to be able to weaken Tapu Fini or do some damage to Tapu Bulu. I mean, it's 4 times effective on Tapu Bulu, so but outside of that, you can also run Dark Pulse maybe for Alolan Marowak and whatnot, but Earthquake hits those Pokemon as well. You do live a Draco Meteor, a Life Orb Draco Meteor from Latios, so you can tank that and then knock it out with your own Draco Meteor. So the Assault Vest set is there if you need a Pokemon that can tank those hits. Again, it was just enough attack to be able to knock out Zard Y 100% with Rock Slide. Max Special Defense to boost the basically your Spadef, because you're running the Assault Vest to also boost your Spadef, and then the rest was put into Special Attack, and this does let you knock out Latios with Draco Meteor. This also checks Serperior with Draco Meteor, Fire Blast respectively, and again Rock Slide helps you check Zard Y. You do take Fire Blast into Focus Blast, and you can knock it out with the Rock Slide. So next up we have Trick Room Abuser. Now it does have base 43 speed, so you're going to want a quiet nature with this. You can maximize your attack and your special attack. The set is Draco Meteor, Hammer Arm, Dark Pulse, and Fire Blast. Hammer Arm is nice if you want to be able to hit Pokemon like Balloon Tran, as well as knock out Tyranitar, while also lowering your speed, which makes you faster in Trick Room. Draco Meteor is your strongest dragon type attack, and then Dark Pulse and Fire Blast. You can also run Earthquake though if you want to be able to 100% knock out Heatran. That's not on Air Balloon. Max AP Heatran does go down to max attack Life Orb Earthquake. However, I like Hammer Arm. I like the fact that it can lower your speed. I also like the fact that it gets rid of Tyranitar and can hit Heatran on an Air Balloon, which Dark Pulse into Hammer Arm can knock out Heatran with that. And you do get the special attack raise as you knock something out because of the Beast Boost. So next up we have Z Stockpile. Now, I'm not too big of a fan of this set, but I think it did deserve some type of mention, just because if you use Normalium Z with the Stockpile, it does restore your HP. So it gives Guzzlord the opportunity to get all that HP back if it's been low. It's kind of similar to the AV set where it could take a hit, but this was more so use Guzzlord, tank the hit, and then use Z-Move Stockpile to be able to restore your HP. But the moveset is Draco Meteor, Fire Blast, and Earthquake. You can change it up to what you want. You can run Dark Pulse, you can run all special attacks, but I just maximize the special attack and a special defense. Special defense is still letting it take on Pokemon such as Serperior, such as Zard Y, and as well as Heatran, mainly Heatran and Serperior, and that's why I have Earthquake and Fire Blast respectively. You can use either or. You can always change around moves. Any of these moves work really on this set, but the idea of this set is not really to boost your defensive with Stockpile, but you can if you want to, and then you can use Z Stockpile to restore your HP if Guzzlord gets low. I honestly think its best sets though are AV, Life Orb, and Rest Talk. If they're actually sets that you want to do something, you can also use it on Trick Room. There are better Trick Room abusers, but Guzzlord can definitely do it well. And it does have some other options, such as Toxic. Toxic can be used in like a sub-toxic set, or Toxic Protect. Wear down fairy types that are not Tapu Fini, because of course Misty Terrain does doesn't let you poison or status things. Poison Jab is also an option on like a physical set, maybe on a choice band set if you want with like Dragon Claw or Earthquake Crunch. You can even use a choice band set. You can use PokeaimMD for the Z Dragon move just to force your Beast Boost, basically get a kill with that. The reason I don't like that set though is because the most common Pokemon to switch into Guzzlord are going to be Fairy types such as Tapu Fini, so you're not boosting your Sludge Wave if you don't have a Life Orb, and you're not going to be able to go for your Dragon move versus that obviously because it is a Fairy type, so it is an option though. Stone Edge is also an option over Rock Slide, and if you do use Stone Edge you can drop attack on this set and just invest more into special attacks, and Stone Edge will be able to kill Zard without much investment. Heavy Slam I already mentioned earlier, but can be used to knock out Tapu Lele after Stealth Rock. Guzzlord is pretty heavy. All in all, though, Guzzlord is pretty mediocre UB, I would say. Doesn't really have any outstanding stats that help it. If it had better speed, maybe. If it wasn't the era of fairies right now, if fairies weren't just so common because all the Tapu, I think it would be a lot better. I would love to have used this Mon in 5th gen. Even with fairies, I would still love to use this Mon in 5th gen. Just because there's not Mons like Tapu Fini and stuff running around. But it's crazy, right? It's a Pokemon so quote-unquote bad that MV changed his mascot from Guzzlord to Necrozma. Nah, but in any case, I think Guzzlord definitely does deserve a shot. And the sets that I've had the most success with are the Life Orb, Rest Talk, and AV. I actually like AV a lot in post-bank because it deals with so many threats. But in any case, guys, hope you all enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Feel free, of course, to subscribe. Leave a like if you did. You can check out the playlist down below if you want to check out any of the other Pokemon that I've ever done or mentioned. And you can follow me on Twitch and Twitter. The links are down below. Goodbye, friends.